would like to call this meeting of the Las Vegas Arts Commission to order at 4 p.m. on December 21st, 2017. I am Chair Polly Weinstein for the last time. I'd like to ask the clerk if we are in compliance. We are in compliance. Great, thank you. Will you please take roll?
Sure. Chair Weinstein.
Present.
Vice Chair Stepson.
Here.
Second Chair Abelman. Commissioner Alvarez. Commissioner Tupaz. Excused. Commissioner Trimble. Excused. Commissioner Carpel. Excused. Commissioner Zachman. Excused. Commissioner Curran.
Here.
Commissioner Breer.
Here.
Commissioner Sprott. Excused. Commissioner Haynes Hamlin.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Great, thanks so much. I'd like to ask the commissioners, if you're going to speak, please make sure to identify yourself for the clerk's recording. Let's get started. Items listed on the agenda may be taken out of order presented. Two or more agenda items for consideration may be combined, and any item on the agenda may be removed, or related discussion may be delayed at any time. Backup material for this agenda may be obtained from the city clerk's office at 495 South Main Street. All right. Item number 3. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, please give your name for the record. The amount of discussion as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. Does anyone in the public have?
Sorry to interrupt you. Did we ask the clerk if this was Sorry, I totally
So, I had to read it twice too and say, did I ask that? But we are in compliance, right?
Yes, correct.
Great. Now we can double check. Of course. Is there anyone that would like to make public comment on something on the agenda? Seeing no one, will move on to item number 4. For possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular meeting of the Arts Commission, November 16th, 2017. Does anyone have any changes or anything they saw amiss on last month's agenda before we approve it? All right. All in favor of approving the minutes from November 16th, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. Minutes approved. Item number 5, report by the Office of Cultural Affairs staff regarding monthly summary of current projects.
This is Rebecca Holder speaking. You all received a digital copy of the staff report. In addition to that, we can go over a couple of items here. First one being conservation and maintenance for the AMP program. We finally got an hourly person to help us part-time with the maintenance of the public art program. We started in November, and our first assignment is to remove all the graffiti on the AMP boxes. So she did a great job, and that's the first thing off the list there is all the AMP boxes been restored. Our next item under conservation and maintenance, we have the monument to the simulacrum piece. We did an assessment, and we're going to try to address the maintenance in phases. So the first phase was the cleaning of the seal to remove the failing anti-graffiti coating. The second phase will be to apply a new protective anti-graffiti coating as well as new paint on the concrete base. Third phase would be the assessment and then possible replacement of the lighting if needed. And then the fourth phase would be assessment and possible replacement of the top resin cap if needed. It just hasn't been, not much has been done to it since it was installed in 2006. So it's just time to take a look over it. And it was great to have Stephen Hindy in town for the 30th anniversary event and speak with me about the piece as well and get some information.
What do you suppose where that's at? I never seen it in person before.
It's at Centennial Plaza at the Historic Dispute School.
I never noticed it before.
It was installed as part of the time capsule for the Centennial in 2005.
Cool. Oh yeah, I guess I need to see some.
Federal court.
Our next one is the Hearts for Vegas exhibit. So as a response to the October 1st shooting, we received items from folks from around the world. And those items have been assembled in an exhibition format to be toured throughout various cities, City of Las Vegas facilities. So these are currently available to view on the second floor of City Hall right outside Wisconsin Rivers. Artist J.K. Russ did the main piece here in the center, and we intend to work with her and expanding on that. And then finally, we had the West Las Vegas Art Center mural. So these are some photos of the site. So preliminary meetings have been held to establish project details and parameters. Are there any questions regarding the staff report?
The numbers in blue, right, that's just like the date that it's updated, 12/21.
Yeah, so that's just the date of the current meeting.
Great.
Any other questions or comments or anything? Okay.
Seeing none, I'll move on to item number 6. Report by the Arts Commission Chair regarding monthly summary of current initiatives, cultural events, and opportunities. I have 2 interesting events on our calendar that we want to share. The first one is an all-ages Kwanzaa celebration happening Saturday, December 30th from 2 to 4:30 p.m. It's free and open to the public, and it's at the West Las Vegas Library Theater. The second event I have here is the Chinese Year of the Dog exhibition. So through March 18th, 2018, at the historic Fifth Street School Mayor's Gallery. It'll be free admission by appointment only. Those are the 2 items that we're highlighting. Another exciting item on the agenda. Item number 7, discussion for possible action regarding the annual election of officers. All right, so as I mentioned, I'm turned out of this chair seat. We didn't really have any email exchange or anything about who wanted to, who's interested in leadership roles. Can we just talk? Can we talk openly? Is that something we can do? Who's interested? Someone's got to be. Or is it someone we're going to nominate anyway?
Are we allowed to nominate somebody in their absence? This is Commissioner Haynes
I'm
Hamlin.
sure, yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah.
So long as it's a member of
Do they
Okay,
have
that's
to,
good. Thank
do
you.
they all have to accept or anything?
So long as they're appointed and approved by a majority of chair, then yes. But at that point, if they choose to subsequently withdraw themselves, and at that point, a subsequent motion to appoint the new member is going to be made.
We're going to reach out a little bit. He's just running a little bit late. Nikki would be a great choice for chair. That'd be great.
This Commissioner Kern, would there be an interest from our vice chair, or second vice chair, in slotting up one, I guess?
Can we do that if we're turned out? Like, could our vice chair bump up the chair? Can you tell us the rules?
My term is in February, so I will no longer be. I think.
your turn, not effectively.
Yeah.
Who's the second chair? Who's the first?
Chair.
So this is Commissioner Haynes Hamlin. That was in line with the question that I was going to ask is for the folks that are present here, can we do a rundown of who would be eligible for election in which office?
Yeah, that would be great.
That's fine.
So we're looking at, this is the Storage Deputy City Attorney's Office, so we're looking at the list that was provided by the Office of Cultural Heritage term expiration. Ableman, his term expires in February 2018. Tupaz, March 2018. Trimble, March 2018. Cartel, July 2018. Ryan, June 2018, or Alfred. So it appeared that pursuant to this list, those things would be on funds active. His term expires in October 2019. His term expires in November 2019. This fraud in September 2019, as well as John Curran, November 2019. So those would be before that would be that.
And Briar. Oh, pardon me. Pardon me. Sorry.
So, this is Commissioner Breer asking Commissioner Weinstein, apart from effectively running the meetings and having, what else do you do?
I mean, I would say that's the majority of the role. Doesn't take a lot of outside time. There have been different times where we've gotten together to discuss things, or maybe I act as like a go-between with a project or something like that. But that's something anyone on the commission can do effectively.
Yeah.
So it's more than anything, it's just the making sure you're there to run the meeting and feel confident running the meeting, and it's not too exhaustive or anything. Like, they don't make me write reports or anything like that.
This is a deputy secretary of the SOH. I'd just like to augment what was also mentioned, pursuant to the bylaws, the responsibilities of the chairperson are also to appoint committees and subcommittees and individuals to work on each of those subcommittees. Through the Arts Commission, I understand that there were a number of subcommittees a number of years ago that were education. Those either can be added or be all at the discretion of the chair. So that's a duty and obligation of the chair.
Yeah.
And I do think that it's a role that can be, you can sort of tailor it to fit your time and energy that you have available. Everyone in the office is awesome, and if I said, hey, I want to come in tomorrow and can talk about something, they effectively say yes, usually. Maybe not tomorrow, but like next week.
Yeah.
So I think it has a lot of room for opportunity, and it's not to be done, obviously.
Yep. So, well, Commissioner Burr has no objection to accepting a nomination for any of the open positions, with the caveat that I am still a little green because I just came back on, and I am disappointed in myself that I don't know a lot of the stuff, in terms of like what's been going on in the last couple of years. So, yeah, if the fellow commissioners would forgive that character flaw, I don't have any objection to accepting a nomination for either backfilling Jerry's spot as he ascends to consolidate his power.
Is that something you're interested in doing?
I thought about it, and looking at a number of factors that I have to deal with, health being one of them, other responsibilities, obligations, and I don't reside in the city of Las Vegas either, so that might not a stipulation. That's off the record. Anyway, those things considered, I think it would be better if I didn't ascend. As much as I. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure, I'm going to nominate.
This is Commissioner Alvarez. I'd like to, looking at kind of the commission and seeing where everyone's at, I'd like to nominate John Curran as chairman. I think that, John, you have quite a bit of knowledge of downtown. You're youthful. You ride a skateboard.
Sometimes.
No, I think, but ultimately, John, you have the opportunity to influence what's going on in the city, and also be a very good bridge between your employer and what's happening here on the Arts Commission. Sometimes, as a casual observer, there seems to be a bit of a disconnect between what's going down there and what's over here and kind of the reality. And I think you can really be a pragmatic leader in regards to bringing some attention to that. And as such, I nominate John as chairman, Jim, Commissioner Greer as second chair, and Nikki Sprott as vice chair, and then Nikki Sprott as second chair.
I would be interested in seconding those nominations, if that's something you're open to.
I'm open to any of the three positions. If any of the other commissioners have their hearts set on chair, that's by all means. I'm happy to get out of the way. Maybe it'd be a fun surprise for Mickey to come back.
I'd like to second your nomination.
Prior to there being like vice chair, and just want to open up the floor to any additional discussion prior to making a motion.
Is there any additional discussion? Does anyone have any other thoughts? Anybody who they feel was left out of that? Or I feel kind of bad nominating someone not here and having them take a role in case they don't want to. It's not ideal. So how do I do this? Just make a motion to nominate a person for one of the spots?
Yes, I would suggest making a motion to nominate if your choice is the chair. Have a vote on that, and then to make a subsequent motion for vice chair, and so on and so forth for the secretary.
You got it. All right. I'd like to make a motion to nominate John Curran for the position of chair of the Arts Commission of the City of Las Vegas. Do you hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Anyone opposed? Good. That passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Secondarily, I would like to make a motion for Commissioner Breer to be the vice chair of the Arts Commission of the City of Las Vegas. Do I hear a second? All right. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Congratulations, Mr. Vice Chair. And I think it'll be all right if we nominate Mickey for a third chair. It doesn't happen that often. Second chair, I don't think it happens that often. Both of you will be out. So I'd like to make a motion to nominate Nikki Sprott for the position of. Should we wait for her to come in?
Boy, do we have a surprise for you.
So Nikki's here now. And we have just voted Commissioner Curran as the new chair.
Cool. Congrats.
We have voted Commissioner Breer in as the vice chair.
Okay.
And we were hoping that we could nominate and vote you in as the second chair.
Okay, cool.
Does that sound okay?
Sure.
We wanted
Why
to make
not?
sure with you.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to nominate Nikki Sprott as the second chair to the Arts Commission for the City of Las Vegas. Do I hear a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That passes, and we got a new
All right.
selection
New
of
regime.
chair to the City of Las Vegas. Thank you for letting me serve you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. We are going to move on to item number 8, a report by the Office of Cultural Affairs staff regarding the status of the Las Vegas Main Street Signature Sculpture Project.
Okay, so I have, this is Laura Machado with Office of Cultural Affairs. So Luis has received his second milestone payment for $140,000. And with that, he's purchased $80,000 worth of stainless steel. He's also purchased machinery and secured additional studio space to support creating the sculpture. Radial symmetry contains 124 cut steel parts, and he estimates he'll have the cutting done by the end of January. And currently, the fabrication of radial symmetry is estimated to be complete and installed by February 2018. So this is the timeline for the piece. We started with the presentations in 2015, and it will be complete fall 2018. Which isn't actually that long at all.
But it feels like it went so fast.
Yeah, it did.
It's like the last trip I
Well, there was a lot of behind the scenes, engineered documents, how it works. Okay. It's actually really fast. Yeah.
I agree.
And then the next, so the Office of Cultural Affairs has initiated a video documentation for this project. So we've secured a contract with the filmmaker Keen Liu. He'll be filming the artist studio, the fabrication, construction. It'll include the artist narration, time-lapse photography, and project development. I've reached out to Keen, and he also gave us a small clip of the current work that he's doing. So hopefully this works. So you can see Louis' studio and the documentation that he's doing right now. If the volume works as well.
It could be. He's just not doing anything.
It's a riveting video.
You can see it's just frozen.
Yeah.
Sorry, technical difficulties.
See, there's people walking.
It is frozen for some reason on this opening screen.
Let's see if Chrome will work. It actually does have volume, but I'm not sure where it's going. Imagine really cool music in the background.
Anyone singing? Yeah.
We're not very
This is Commissioner Haynes Hamblin. Is the videographer creating original music for this?
So he's
Case?
using, right now, he uses, what would be the technology? It's open rights.
Okay.
Open platform, whatever you consider.
Public
For
domain.
this. But when we actually will complete our grant commission, we have that rights.
Is this cutting equipment that you had to purchase?
Yes. Very expensive. It's awesome. So it's moving really smoothly, and he's been a wonderful artist to work with. We're really lucky. Also, I reached out to Jeremy Levitt, who is the program manager for Public Works for the Main Street Improvement Project, and he said that there's no additional funding for public art, but the benches will be installed in fall of 2018. Yeah. She's looking right at you.
Okay, let's move on to item number 9. Report by the Office of Cultural Affairs staff regarding the paintbrush gateway by the South End.
This is Rebecca Holden speaking. You'll see on the screen some information I'm just going to read out. Regarding the paintbrush gateway by Dennis Oppenheim, he began his work on the two sculptures back in 2007. Although he did pass away before his work could be completed, his estate did finalize the project in June 2011. Next, we've got the project timeline with the funds being allocated in 2005 and the project being completed and dedicated in 2011. As far as funding sources go, it was multiple partners. We had the Department of Transportation with $360,000. City of Las Vegas with $250,000, in-kind $10,000, which brings us to a total of $720,000 for that project. Below that is a cost breakdown for the paintbrushes, the installation of the paintbrushes, the topper portion, which is the top portion of those paintbrushes, contingency, and then the total $720,000. Below that is a list of participating entities and businesses involved with this project. It was a fairly extensive project with a lot of folks involved. Initially, when this project was commissioned, it was with the intent of having our public works department actually fabricate the artwork. However, once we received the designs back, it was too complex for them, and so he worked with his atelier in California. Are there any questions about the paintbrush gateway? Some images as far as the map goes along Charleston, the yellow stars with outlining the locations. And then on the next page is just some photos, street view of the artwork.
Commissioner Shopsik, were they always intended to be separated installation, or were they be cross each other?
I believe the artist's original intent was to have them directly across from each other. However, this roadway is owned and operated by INDOT, and there were certain restrictions, which is why the locations are what they are, including things like overhead power lines and other below ground utilities.
This is Commissioner Alvarez. So there were supposed to be 6 of them. 6. And the cost ballooned. And then when they went to install the one on Casino Center in Charleston, Dennis didn't calculate the power lines. He totally didn't realize they were there. And so he actually moved it over, and it took a couple months to do that. So they had to redo the footing. But technically, they were supposed to create a gateway, point towards each other with a beam of light, which kind of worked for a minute, but he also forgot that Vegas doesn't have humidity. So it is what it is. You know, I think when I was at the Neon Museum, I had spoken to someone at Gasco, and they said we could have done both those paint brushes for $100,000, $50,000. So what the city got. And this has been a point of contention with myself and a lot of the community, has been, we bought a name we didn't buy this part. They work great at night. They're giant glow sticks. If you're a raver, awesome. You know, especially now that there's all these dispensaries everywhere. You go to the dispensary and look at these pretty lights and you're like, wow. You know, during the day they just disappear. A couple of years ago I brought up the point, maybe we should put them together. And the costs, I believe, the former director of cultural affairs mentioned that we wanted $2 million to use that in actuality. She just didn't want to pursue that at all.
We have a quote, Rebecca, we're going to quote, I think it's about $350,000 to move on, and that's an estimate, but that's the last information I have.
I think for me, my biggest, what I wanted to find out is have they been appraised, and has the value of them gone up post the loss of death?
Rebecca Holden, the cost information, the financial information is what we have is what I presented to you. We probably have to contract out with a company to the entire collection appraised. But as far as our record keeping goes, for our internal purposes of keeping track of all of our assets, it's listed at $750,000.
This is Commissioner Alford. It might behoove us in the future, the commission in the future, to contract a fine art appraiser to appraise this one piece. Because if it goes up in value, I know that the county, and I'm just mentioning this, has some artwork also that county is working on and what it was originally purchased for. So I think it would behoove the city to know that if these works of art are worth more, it's good to know that. You know, so that if anything, even though I would love to see these things sold off to the highest bidder and that money be redirected to more public art, at the end of the day, these belong to the people and belong to the city of Las Vegas, and we should. There's a value to that when we can say, hey, look, we paid $720,000 for these things. Now they're worth $125 million. It's an investment, and I think it's important to know that because then we have a document that we could say to any politician, hey, look, we bought this artwork. It's now double the price. So it's an investment in our community, and I know that the Bean in Chicago is worth more than what they paid for. So it's important for us as commissioners and politicians to know that these things are very valuable. Because one of the big challenges that we have in our community is that the politicians don't understand the value of art. And this is something that we're constantly fighting. You know, it gets brushed aside, oh, it's just art, it's art. Well, you know something, art is very valuable to a community. creates a sense of place. And if we have that little bit of ammunition, then we can get better funding. Because right now we have, it's kind of sad, and it's very upsetting for me being a local born and raised in this community that we keep on blabbing about Las Vegas being a world-class city. World-class city, we've got a hockey team, a football team, a women's basketball team coming out last weekend, a major league soccer. And we talk about being a world-class city, yet the Arts Commission had, how much money was the commissioner? $120,000 to spend? When the city of West Hollywood, that's double the amount of money that we have, and they have 33,000 people living there. So it's like, we need ammunition so we can go to our city council people and say, hey, Bob, and I say, hey, look, we need more money. Here, and here's the proof. So,
Rebecca Holden, might I suggest, since this is certainly something to consider for the annual projects meeting next year, possibly considering allocating funds towards that, since that would likely come out of the percent for arts fund. We allocate $60,000 annually towards maintenance, and I don't know if that would cover the increase of the entire collection, but something to consider.
Put on your list, Chair. Okay, were there did you request that agenda item just to get a little more information? I was not familiar with, I guess I wasn't here last time, so. Okay, are there any other questions or thoughts on the Oppenheim sculpture? Beat it to death in March. All right. Seeing none, we will move on to item number 10, report by the Office of Cultural Affairs staff regarding the public art tour at City Hall, 495 South Main Street.
This is Marcia. We talked about this at the last meeting, and
Sure, I know during the last meeting there was a discussion about the possibility of the entire board of the Art Commission collectively doing a walkthrough tour of all of these art here in the city of Las Vegas. It's certainly a possibility, but strongly urging against that for purely logistical reasons. As you're obviously aware, this meeting must comply with open meeting law, which necessarily requires us to have a clerk who transcribes every word that we say. So I have three suggestions. Number one, we either dolly the clerk around the entire city, which I don't think is feasible. That would be and that's really the logistical nightmare. The second option, my recommendation, which is also equally unavailable, is the collection of you could, in fact, do a tour with the public, but just not speak at all. And to not say a word at all. That requires a significant level of self-restraint, which I understand is difficult to do. So then my third recommendation would be for Ally to be able to work with each of you in non-quorum groups, perhaps like 5 or 6 months, whatever that may be, whatever fits your schedule, for she and those groups to just collectively tour and walk around. She can certainly take notes. Obviously, no decision will be made. And then when those non-quorum groups collectively meet, either at this next meeting or at the meeting subsequent thereafter, she can obviously put together a report based on those discussions, and then you can actually have a formal discussion here on the record. So that would be my recommendation.
That sounds like a feasible option, right? Splitting it up into a couple groups based on schedules, and what was the, sorry, I'm a little bit behind, what was the end goal of, were we just curious, we want to see all these things, were we?
This is Laura Machado. So we had a talk about placement of permanent public art pieces around the collection, and Commissioner Breyer actually asked for an agenda item to have Jeannie Voltura come in and talk. She wasn't able to make it today because she's on vacation for the holidays.
Understand.
But she will be here in January to talk about her method and methodology for placing the artwork. And then that goes on to the topic not everyone knows how everything is throughout the mall.
Okay. Well, please.
Commissioner Hamlin, is it possible to do that? I mean, is it maybe 2 times this week? That's a lot of work to do a couple of years. I mean, is it possible to ask you that?
Yeah, this is Commissioner Haynes Hamlin. I think it is possible. It'll be tight for sure,
Okay.
but especially if it's something that we want to complete before the January meeting. Maybe if we set the February meeting as the deadline for those tours, that might be a little bit more feasible in my schedule. But because I think we can break it down to three. It would have to be 3 groups, right? You can't do half and half.
And is it Commissioner Weinstein, is it just City Hall? Did you say it's just City Hall that we're touring, or sites?
This is Commissioner Haynes Hamlin. I was just going to say it could be more because we have elements of the collection here at City Hall, also at the Development Services Center. So we could get some transportation and drive around to some of the more major pieces that are installed in the community as we traverse over to the Development Service Center and back to City Hall.
Commissioner, is it possible for us to do it on our own? Like, we send it to us and go. It probably wouldn't be as much fun. But I'm just saying.
No, I'm just kidding.
But have you built on your organization?
Sure, absolutely.
I'm just.
So, this is Commissioner Haynes Hamlin. The City of Las Vegas does have an app that provides information about services citywide. And one of the prominent tabs of that app is arts and culture, and there's a map in there that's, I don't think, complete, but it's quite robust, that maps out a lot of the permanent public art collection throughout the city. And then the Development Services Center and City Hall, those are areas that are both open to the public during their posted business hours. So you're welcome to take yourself on a self-guided tour through those buildings. There are some pieces of the permanent collection that have been installed in offices and hallways that are not accessible to the public. So that's something that I could add to the tour that could be more interesting, depending on your perception of the art that's behind closed doors, of course. But so there's definitely an option of a self-guided tour.
Mr. Shevchik, about how many pieces are we talking about?
Oh, wow, very good question.
Rebecca Holden, I think it would be in the hundreds if you consider the loaned pieces within all of the buildings in addition to the permanent pieces in all of the buildings that we feature outside of the other outlying facilities. So.
Yeah, I would estimate, and this is a really wild guess, that the permanent collection would be around 250 pieces. Adding in the loaned program pieces, it's 500 or 600. It is.
I'll tell you, I'm definitely interested in taking a tour, not a self-guiding one. Not much of an autodidact myself, so I'll express my interest and if that's where the February meeting, I think that would be great.
We quiz afterwards?
Of course. Just kidding. No.
Anybody else have any thoughts? All right. With that being said, we will move on to item number 11, discussion regarding topics for future agenda items by the Commission. Comments made during this portion of the agenda by individual members shall refer solely to proposals for future agenda items, and any discussion shall be limited to whether or not such proposed items are within the purview of the Commission, and/or whether such proposed items shall be placed on a future agenda. No discussion regarding the substance of any such proposed topic shall occur, and no action shall be taken. Who has thoughts for future agendas? New year, new ideas.
This is Commissioner Curran. I know there was a desire to get Life is Beautiful here the day before the festival, which didn't happen. I wonder if there would still be an interest in hearing from their art team. And they did come out with a really great sort of self-guided mural tour in downtown Las Vegas, which I shared. I don't know if it would be interesting. I'd be happy to try to connect and get their art leads here if we'd like.
And you can really help facilitate those decisions now. It's your week.
Well, I don't want to do it just for my sake.
Yeah, sure.
I will see if I can make that happen.
Commissioner Weinstein, obviously, I think we'd like to put on the if we could put something on the February agenda, a little review of the tour, and whatever the sort of reason behind it. I know you just told me like a minute ago, but I can't think and talk at the same time. So, whatever that agenda item was, put that on there. placement of possible placement of future
For the January meeting.
February, because we probably won't get a chance to take a tour before the January, like all the groups, we have to do 3 groups. Ally was asking for a little more time to do them.
Okay, so Jeannie, sorry, this is right, Michelle. You'd like Jeannie to be on the agenda for February rather than January?
Separate.
Well, this is Haynes Hamlin. I think it would be good to have Jeannie at the January meeting, so that then, assuming that the tours would fall between the January and the February meeting, then as you're on the tour, you could have that context of what Jeannie has described for her process.
That's a good,
Okay, so then at the January meeting, we can add this to the February agenda item.
Sure.
Okay.
Anything else that they'd like to add? No? Okay.
This is easy, as first, make staff's job a little bit easier to move on that, but it's a good calendar, but express it for the calendar of the art that they mentioned, and the idea that we don't clear up their parts and what they should include in the future.
This is Commissioner Rice, it sounded like we wouldn't talk about that until the annual meeting.
Yeah, Rebecca, that would be my recommendation, since we don't have any additional funds to allocate, and it would likely require a request for proposals process for purchasing division. It would be beneficial to wait to bring projects forward until our next new project meeting that the project is going.
That could be September.
Yes, and this is Haynes Hamlin. I would offer that probably I made in my notes, between now and September, we could make some informal inquiries to get a ballpark of what we'd probably be looking at for the cost of that sort of an appraisal. Not an actual quote, but just an estimate from somebody who does that.
Anyone else have any other possible agenda items? Of course, between now and the next 2 weeks, you can always email the Office of Cultural Affairs, email our new chair, and they will try to get it on the schedule. Okay, item number 12, citizens participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the commission. No subject may be acted upon by the commission unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Is there anyone here who wants to make a public comment? Okay. Seeing none, I'd like to hear a motion to adjourn the meeting. Any motion, right?
So moved.
All right. Meeting adjourned.
Fastest meeting in history. I really think that was.
Just when I got good.
I know.
2 years, probably?
2 years, I know.
Were you 2 years? So you off